Good evening, friends. Happy Monday. I don't have that much to share, but I always like to post. And so, in the theme of Stitch Mail Monday, I had shown you this little canvas that I got from my friend over the weekend. She had ordered it for me from Kansas City Needlepoint. So it says, "For goodness sake." And this little gingham background I thought would just be perfect to do a little decorative stitch. I think it's Scotch Stitch. I don't know the name of it, but basically because it's a grid, I'm going to do over 1, over 2, over 3, over 2, over 1. So I'm going to start that tonight just because I'm excited. There's nothing like a new project to get you excited. So I'm going to start that. And I might turn you around and just stitch for a few minutes if you're interested in that. But it's very cozy. It's a little chilly this evening. It's going to get hot again. It's not chilly, but for Kansas City, for September, it's pretty reasonable. And so I have my little candles and I have a little fall scene on my art screensaver. If you don't have this is not a frame TV, that's the hack. You just go to YouTube and you put art screensaver on your TV and you can put that on and it's delightful. But it's chilly and so I had to get some socks on and I'll show you my socks. I got these Columbia merino wool blend socks at Goodwill. They still had tags on them for $4.99. So this is my maiden voyage with my little wool blend socks. So they're quite delightful. All right, I'm going to turn you around and I'll do a little bit of stitching. Okay, so I put all of my little cards on this little ring. I just had this in my stash. It's a little blue ring. And so I have all of those together. Even in focus, I don't know. So I cut a length of white. I'll start with white and starting a new canvas with no stitches. So I'll do a waist knot like I've shown before. So just thread your needle, take the bottom tail, hold it behind your needle so you've got a long loop of thread. Oh, sorry, that keeps going out of focus. Oh gosh, sorry. New camera, new phone. So hold that, then wrap it a couple of times around your needle and then just pinch it and then pull the needle through and it makes a nice tidy little knot there at the bottom. And we will use that to go in from the front to the back a few, I don't know, maybe 1/2 inch or 3/4 of an inch away from where you want to start stitching. Oh, and I'm not doing basket weave. I just started to do that again. So this is how I'm thinking about doing this, is over 1, just a regular stitch, then over 2, so 1, 2, and then over 3, 1, 2, and I'm going to have to compensate because that's the edge of this canvas, but normally it would have been over 3, and then 1, 2, and then over 1. So that's what I'm thinking about. And then I'll just skip over here. It's not ideal to carry it that long, but I think that that's the reality for this kind of pattern, that we're going to have to carry some threads. But okay, so 1, 2. And then go 1, 2, 3. And I'm sure that this would be much smoother and better if you are a person who stitches on stretcher bars, but that's just not who I am. I don't do stretcher bars. I like to stitch in hand. So we're just going to go with it. I think it'll be fine. If this was stranded like DMC floss, it would be more important to do a laying tool or something. But since this is just one thread that's laying next to each other, I think it will line up just fine. Well, isn't this just this is just singing along. So the only bad thing is I might possibly be short on fiber a little bit, since I'm, they didn't intend, when they kitted it, they didn't intend for me to do a decorative stitch. And since I'm carrying it behind, it may run a little short, but we'll just deal with that later. Dye lots don't matter in this kind of situation where you have, pattern broken up. You could do a different dye lot and shouldn't run into a problem, I believe it would not be a problem. So this is gonna sing. It's gonna just go fast. Zoom, that's the word. I think this will zoom, but I already am thoroughly enjoying it. I can already tell, and I love these colors. So I think it'll be a fun Stitch. All right, well, let me do a little bit of this off camera. There's no point I don't know. I'll keep stitching until I'm finished up with this. Now, around these stitches, around the words, I'm just going to basket weave that. So I'm kind of close by, so I'll just zip over here and stitch that continental, essentially, and do regular stitches around the words. So that's what I'm working on. I would love to get a cup of tea. So that's what I need to do, is go fix a cup of tea. I've got my cozy socks on. I've got some needlepoint and a fall scene on my TV, and that's pretty good. I was listening to an audiobook on the plane, and I had forgotten how much oopsie daisy, how much I love an audiobook when I'm stitching, because I will often watch a movie on the plane, or even when I'm at home. I don't really watch the movie, I listen to the movie, and so I tend to rewatch the same thing over and over. So it's sort of refreshing to have a new story through an audiobook. And I've had an Audible membership for years, and most of the time I just let my daughter buy the books, because I'm very picky. I like a narrator that I like, and I don't want too much tension. But year before last maybe, I started listening to the Thursday Murder Club, and I listened to all of those books, and they were just adorable. And so this is the next book. Not in that series, but it's by that same guy. What's his name? Robert Thorogood, maybe? Don't quote me. But it is another story by that same guy. This one is called We Solve Murders. And so far, it's been really good. So that was really fun to just listen to an audiobook while I stitch. So I may do that here in a little bit as well. But that's what I'm doing. I'm just going to work on some white, and then hopefully move on to another color so I can see what it all starts to look like. Isn't that the fun to see how it all lines up next to one another? I love it. All right. Thanks for coming along, stitching with me. Have a great Monday night.